For today's adventure, we were deep in the Scottish Highlands in search of a mysterious and rather unique little island. To get there, we would need to paddle for miles, wade through deep undergrowth, and battle with the local wildlife. All this would take place on the stunning Loch Maree. Good morning. Well, today we're doing something completely different. Not done anything like this before, actually. So no walking up mountains, no walking. Actually doing some paddle boarding. We are on stand-up paddle boards, but I think we're going to be sat down, to be honest, because we've got the dog with us. And don't fancy falling in too much because it's quite cold today. But today we're at Loch Maree, and we're going to quite a famous little island. Apparently, it's the only island in a loch, on an island in a loch. The only one in Britain. So yeah, it's quite a long paddleboard from where we are. We were hoping to park a bit closer, but there wasn't anywhere to park where you could get down to the loch. So we're back at the main car park. So it's about 3/4 of a mile, maybe a little bit more, maybe a mile. That's where we're going. But I'll just spin you around so you can see the chain of islands that kind of run along the loch, kind of out here. So the one we're going to is right out there, I think, if you can see it on the camera. So it's quite a long paddle, but it's a beautiful day. We've had some really rough weather up in the Highlands this last few days, floods and all sorts, and gale force winds. But today it's very calm, a bit of sunshine, so yeah, get some paddle boarding done and hopefully find this mysterious island. So I'll let you know how we get on later. After pumping up the paddleboards and stashing all our gear in our dry bag, we're soon ready to get on the paddleboards and make our way across to the first of the islands. We'd plotted a route on the map that you'll just see here, where we were going over to the first island and kind of weaving our way through the little inlets to get to the heart of the main island, which is Eilean Subhainn. Apologies for the pronunciation there. And then in theory it would just be a short walk over to the little loch with a small island in it. So that was the route we were planning on taking. So we've made it to the first of the islands, just a short paddle. I say short, it's quite a long way actually, took ages, but a paddle across the loch. So we're just passing the first island, we haven't got off yet, we're moving on to the big one, which I think is where our little island is. It's beautiful weather though, the top of Loch over there is just cleared nicely. Nice bit of an inversion going on the side. Sun's threatening to come out, but yeah, it's tough going. I've spotted somebody else out there, not sure if they're paddleboarding or canoeing, but in the distance somebody else, so we're not on our own, which is nice. Bit more reassuring out here in the middle of nowhere when you think you're on your own. But yeah, nice so far, just having a leisurely paddle. We are kind of going downwind a little bit, so I think going back will be slightly harder, but yeah, so far so good. And we'll hopefully catch up with you on the main island. So we made it to the main island. We thought we were going to have to do a bit of a portage, but the water is so high because of all the rain we've had, we could actually get through on the water. The only negative thing about that is all the little beaches that I've seen on pictures and videos have gone. So there's just rocky outcrops and this kind of bogweed, which isn't very nice, but it's absolutely stunning up here. Just so calm in these little bits out of the breeze. The only slight issue with that is there's getting attacked by the midges, even though it's October, they're still around. But yeah, beautiful. So it is quite rough ground by the look of it. I think we're heading in that direction. It's somewhere over there. So it does look quite rough, but we'll manage. Toby's glad to be off the paddle boards. I think he'd had enough because we've been on for about an hour and a half. But yeah, so we'll try and find our way to this little mini loch. So making our way through the undergrowth. It's horrible in here. It's just like bugs everywhere. Kind of waist high, probably chest high in ferns, heather. It's not much fun, to be honest, but we're still going. Getting there, heading in the right direction apparently. Can't be much further. So yeah, but this isn't much fun. Be warned if you come up here, especially if it's wet like today. We did it! Hooray! So yeah, it took about 10 minutes of wading through chest-high ferns and knee-deep bogs, but we've made it to a little island on a loch, on an island in a loch. So apparently this island is famous for fairies. It's the home of the fairies, so we'll try and see if we can get onto it. I'm not sure, it's probably a bit deep to be honest, but we'll have a look. And yeah, the only place in Britain where there's an island on a body of water, on an island in a body of water. Beautiful. We made it!
Oh, that was
horrendous. Not recommended. Maybe in summer.
no midges.
Well,
Just don't bother.
just don't bother. But it's beautiful when you get here. So this is the Fairy Island. Probably you can Google it. And there's a few things about it.
Is there any monsters in water? Shall I go for a swim?
It's up to you. I don't think there's any monsters. It's absolutely stunning though. It was worth the effort to get here, even though it was quite difficult. Even Toby made it. Well done, Toby. So I'm going to get the drone out now and have a bit of a look around.
So after spending a little bit of time on the island, we did eventually try and make our way back through the undergrowth, or the jungle as I like to call it. It was quite difficult, but we got there eventually back to the paddleboards. It was interesting, we saw quite a few dragonflies despite it being October. I mentioned this was the Fairy Island, maybe that's where it gets its name from, all the dragonflies that fly around. But it was soon time to get back on the paddleboards and start making our way back. But the weather actually improved at this point even more, we weren't expecting it to. And yeah, things got even more spectacular on the way back, as you'll soon see. So we had planned on just heading straight back towards the cars, but As the weather had turned so nice, you can see here the water, it was just perfect, so still and calm. So we decided to stop off at one of the islands on the way back and have a bit of a snack and a drink. And Michelle even went for a little bit of a swim because the water was really nice, and even though it is October, the sun was still quite warm. So yeah, we enjoyed our paddle home, and just a nice stop off at this island as well. Just really made the day before we did the final stretch back towards the car.
We're just on our way back now to the car. Absolutely exhausted. It's not my arms, it's my legs that are killing. I'm just not flexible enough for this malarkey. Anyway, not too far now. You can see Michelle paddling off into the sunset. Been a really good day. It took us about 5 hours we've been out here. Spent a lot of time on the island and then a lot of time at that other place just having to chill out, but it's just so beautiful. The water, I mean, apart from the odd ripple from our paddle boards, it's just like glass. And when we came over this morning, it was a little bit choppy, so the wind's completely died away, and it's been beautiful. So, fantastic day we've had. I'd definitely recommend doing something like this if you get the weather for it, which, let's be honest, you often don't in Scotland. But yeah, it's been beautiful. So yeah, just maybe a 10-15 minute paddle back to the car, and then a well-earned rest after that. So I think we'll probably end the video here. So thanks for watching, really appreciate it. Like I said, this is completely different to what we usually do. We usually at mountains, doing big long walks, so this was something unique, but really enjoyed it. So thanks for watching. And like we always say, you know, like the video, feel free to comment if you have any suggestions, and if you subscribe, that'd be really helpful as well. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time on the next adventure.